Okay, hey, welcome to chapter 7, 8, and 9. We're going to get into 9 a little bit today. I'm Dave again. I'm David Cerrone. I'm the president of Fitch Construction. And I wanted to start out the training today and talk about our vision, mission, and value statement, just so that you can really start to let it seep into your pores and know how important it really is. So at Fitch Construction, our vision is a world filled with fantastic home improvements for our clients to relax and enjoy life in. Our mission is to equip and empower our team of Fitch professionals to deliver breakthrough performance every day, giving our clients a wow experience. And our values are quality workmanship, teamwork, trust, education, and growth. So that's our vision, mission, and values statement. That's our DNA. That's in the pores. So today, chapter 7, is we want to talk a little bit about the employee handbook. And we're actually redesigning this graphic so it's a little bit more exciting looking. But the employee handbook, I don't want to have you just, read it. It's a typical employee handbook and we throw it away. We put that back in our basement. We never look at it. Employee handbook is really a field guide as well. So yes, there's the standard things, and I've created some tabs for myself as if I were you. Like I've got the employee handbook, and there's a bunch of things you should read this. There's we paid paychecks to create this for us. I've got this tabbed over, so there's all kinds of things. There's basically 5 sections to this. The way we work, your pay and progress, time away from work, and other benefits. And then as well on this, section 4 is on the job type issues and safety in the workplace, or safety on the job site, the homeowner's residence. So read this, it's good stuff. If there's an accident on the job, there's form work in here for that. If I imagine you're going to want to take some time off, holiday pay and all that kind of stuff, that's in here too. All those forms. So make sure that that as questions come up, as well, do we get paid for that, or what happens if I have jury duty? All those things are covered in this. Okay, so it's well put together. And it's articulated really well. Okay, but wait a minute. I'm a carpenter. Dave is going to give us this great training in chapter 8 on wow foreman and wow service. So I'm going to put those notes in here too. So look at that. There's all those notes. Maybe when I'm eating my lunch, or getting ready for a big job coming up, a big sunroom or kitchen that we're going to do, you might want to read through some of this stuff on wow foreman. And as well, we've got our tool requirements. These are the things that we expect that you have. I've got to go back to the shop and I got to get stocked up on nails and deck screws and all those things. Fitch supplies all those. But these are the tools that you have to have. And I don't know about you guys. I've learned so much about AZEK, TimberTech, Trex decks, and railings. Oh my gosh, it'll blow your mind away. So I put a field guide in here. All the different things I need to know about, how AZEK and the different colors, and can I get a 12-footer in that, or does it just come in 16s and 20s? The different railings and what they call them. So I stuck it in here. This is my living document. I'm going to keep this in my truck, and if I ever need a reference to something, I can always go back, or I can bring it out, set it up on the horses. Hey, maybe you're installing, actually we're doing this room right now in Victor. Here's the instruction manual. Right here, the Georgian, here's all the parts and pieces, what they're called. I've got it in with me all the time. I know what the parts and pieces are called. This book it really helps me. It will help you. So keep it with you, keep it stocked up. You can see I've got a bunch of stuff here. They've got some nice drawings. I can reference those as I need to, because there's no way you're going to be able to know all these different things. So that's chapter 7. The employee handbook is much more than that. It's actually a field guide. We're going to maybe call it the field guide. just so that it's there to help you and make you look like the pro. There are so many things to learn. As we were talking about building science, I'm still learning stuff to this day. I just mentioned before about AZEK and TimberTech decks. Oh my gosh, there's so much to know what you can do in cable railing and glass, laser etched glass panels and spindles. There's just a ton of things to know. So keep the stuff with you, keep it up to date. All right, we're going to move right into Chapter 8. And Chapter 8, I guess I'll go over this way. Chapter 8 is about WOW Foreman and WOW Foreman training. So, you know, what we're trying to do is what? We're trying to create for our customer a wow experience. Let's talk a little bit about that. The way we park our vehicles on the job site, you know, we talked about that in Chapter 6 and 7. How we deal with the customer, and, you know, eye contact, all those things. Doing a great installation, cleaning up, working with a drop cloth, all these things build into having a wow experience. I just got an email yesterday on a Google review, and the lady was totally ecstatic about this old, really roached porch. We took this porch, and through our design and our production management and our lead foreman, Mike, wow, they had a great experience with us. And that is really the goal. Is you know, these people gave us a 5-star review. Definitely going to call back for future work. Everyone cleaned up. We hauled away the waste, and they are really enjoying this porch. So it's about the wow experience. It's about being a servant, right? To have someone have a wow experience, we have to want to. We get to give them. It's actually an honor to be able to serve people. That is a discipline that we have to remind ourselves every day. So maybe you're getting ready you're driving to the job site, and you know what? I'm going to do a super job on this door installation or on this skylight installation. I've got my manual. I'm just going to look at that, sip my coffee, get there a little bit early, get out of the car, get out of the truck, and all right, it's all about serving the customer. So, sounds a little corny, but that is how we're going to, as a team, feel that positive movement forward where people are really requesting us to do their installations. Okay, and that's kind of where WOW Foreman comes into play. No Fitch Construction team member would ever go up to a customer and say, hey lady, where do you want this outlet? We would know where that outlet goes. If we didn't know, and oftentimes there's things that we don't know, we would ask our production manager, or we would ask Paul, or we would ask someone, or maybe the customer support representative in production, Karen or Danielle. We would ask those people like, hey, I really don't know where this goes. Can you help me out? Or can you text me or take a picture of the drawing of where this thing goes? We want to give the customer the experience that we know what we're doing and we know that we know. So more on the different levels of learning later. But getting back to WOW Foreman training, we get into this by the first thing we do is we make, step one, we make the on-the-way call. It's all about our customer, and we don't want to surprise them. You know, maybe they're getting ready in the morning. Maybe they totally forgot about the meeting. All right, not that would ever happen, but you know, it's one of those things that we give the on-the-way call. Hey, Mr. Brown, I should be there in 30 minutes. We're so looking forward to installing your job. See you then. Goodbye. That quick phone call makes all the difference. In sales, we do the same thing. We call when we're about 30 minutes out just to make sure that they've remembered the appointment and to understand that, hey, we are on our way and we are looking forward to meeting you. So it's called make the on-the-way call. Typically, the leader of the crew, that we call him the WOW Foreman, is making that phone call. I want that done. It is a level of affirmation, it is a level of service that is beyond what most homeowners experience from carpenters. Okay? We are going to excel at service, and we're going to give them a 5-star, right? If we want a 5-star review, we better give them a 5-star experience. That's what WOW Experience is. So I hope you kind of see where this is going. This is a discipline. It's simple things. Make the on-the-way call. When you get there, if you are the leader, or even if you're not the leader, maybe you're the apprentice. When you get there, you ring the doorbell or knock on the door, and we usually take a step back off the front landing, and we say, Mr. Brown? Mr. Brown, hi, I'm Dave. I'm the carpenter that's going to be doing the work on your home today. And we're really excited to be doing that. This is my, my partner, my carpenter apprentice. This is Bill, and this is Tom. And we're going to be working on putting these doors and windows in for you today. Okay? So we introduce the team. Why? Because we want to let the customer know who is in their house. By the way, this is a good point that we should dress cleanly. You have the fit shirts. You should be in. We really want you to be in a fit shirt, so that it's part of that experience, right? We've talked about that in previous chapters. So it's we don't want to see Molson or Labatt's. I do not want to see that. And please, if you do that, and we see you, we will ask you to change your shirt. So that's a negative experience. We don't want to have the customers. We want to let them know that these are good folks. These are craftsmen working in your house. So introduce the team. Introduce who is with you, and so that the customer knows who's in my house. Review the work to be done. Hey, Mrs. Brown or Mr. Brown, is it okay if I call you by your first name? Pete, Sally. Today we're going to be replacing your Anderson door and your 4 windows. We'll be working with drop cloths, and we have our own vacuum cleaners. Do you guys have any questions? A little eye contact. And okay, great. All right, awesome. Well, we're going to get right to work then. Super, thanks. So we're going to review the work to be done for that day or for those several days, okay? In a brief, summarized fashion. And then the biggest thing, they're all important points, but one of the other big things about step 1 is, okay, this is our first day today, and we should be in your house 3 to 4 days. What I'm going to want to do, Pete, Sally, is I'm going to want to check in. I have a check-in meeting with you around your schedule, but I want to set that time up and meet every day. Okay? So what's the best time? Do you guys come home for lunch? Or maybe does someone come home at 4 o'clock? Or maybe we can meet first thing in the morning. What works best for you? They might say, well, Dave, I come home at noontime all the time for lunch. Okay, great. Well, maybe we could spend 10 minutes together and just go over what I've done, what we're going to be doing tomorrow, and then to see if you have any concerns or questions. Okay? Very, very, very important. And all the basic scripts are all in WOW Foreman Training, which I know exactly where to go in my field book. It's right here. So there's some very basic things to learn. I did forget to mention one thing. Our graphic artist has actually created WOW Foreman or WOW Apprentice cards that you can hand over to the homeowner to let them know that, hey, I live in the town of Greece with my wife and our 2 kids, and I enjoy fishing and golfing. And so it's a very basic card that we use. So those are already been made up. They're actually at the printer as we speak. And you'll see that in blue, there's some very basic things to talk about. You don't have to say it exactly how this is scripted, but again, we want to make sure that they understand that you're there. So just to recap this first chapter, this first section, is we're making the on-the-way call. We're introducing ourselves, we're introducing our team so they know who's in the house, and then we're reviewing the basic work to be done. We don't have to get real detailed with this, but hey, we're replacing the door and 5 windows today, or this in the next 3 days. And then we're going to schedule that important check-in time each day and at the finish of the project. Okay, so that's the first step. Very basic. All right, step 2 is we're at that check-in meeting. Okay, so say Pete and Sally came in say Pete came home for lunch, and great, so it's about 12:30. We're meeting at that agreed upon time, and so hey Pete, this is what we did. We've taken out the door, and we've roughed in the door, and we've roughed in the 4 windows today, and so the guys are going to start to do a detailed cleanup right now. And then tomorrow we hope to have most of the trim up on the inside, so we'll be able to move to the outside. Okay? All right. That's what we're doing right now. Okay. Pete, Sally, are you happy so far? Is everything to your expectations? Yes, we're happy. Okay, great. Listen, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions about what we're doing? Any questions at all? Well, I mean, we'll get into how to use the door and the windows later, but just do you have any questions right now? Well, yeah, I've heard about this widget, or I've heard about that thing. Does that come with this door? Yes, it does, and we work those things out. We go over those questions. Are you happy so far? And there's a key scripted line that says, it sounds something like this. Pete, while all my tools are out, if there's anything that is not to your expectation, or if you're not happy about anything, please let me know. I'd rather fix it while my tools are out. And we'll do that. We'll ask that question. If there's anything, Pete, that's not to your expectations, or if you're not happy about anything, I'd rather fix it while my tools are out. Okay? Great. We're going to keep asking that question, why? Because when we get to the end of our job, there will be no punch list, or there'll be 1 or 2 little teeny things. By asking this question every day that we're there, so some projects last, 4 days. Some long-term projects last 4 days. Some last, 20 days, 20 production days. If we're asking this question every day, and we're having that meeting every day with a customer, yeah, I did have a question. What about the trim? Is that going to be the 2 1/4 casing? Because I've got 2 1/2-inch colonial casing in the rest of my house. And I see that I'm concerned because the trim's in the garage, and that's all 2 1/4 inch. We've already taken care of that. Our suppliers are already going to switch that up, and that's a great catch. I'm glad you saw that. So we want to make sure that we're asking, do they have any questions? While my tools are out, I'd rather fix anything that you're not happy with. Okay. Does that make sense? Simple stuff. If we're doing this each day that we're working at their home, we will never have a problem, or we'll be able to, if it's a real issue or a product issue, we can get to it as quickly as we can. If we wait until the end, the last day of the job, oh my gosh, it's like trying to gather marbles. I mean, it's just going to be a crazy thing. Okay, the last step in WOW Foreman training, we're almost done with this chapter, is the final check-in and review. By the way, before I go into this, I have to put it this: repeat at every check-in. Repeat at every check-in. If we do this, I'm trying to make a point here. Do it every day. Don't let a day go by. It will just make your life so much easier, and the homeowner will have that great experience. Okay, step 3, final check and review. We're going to go over what you did and how it works. So oftentimes I see carpenters like, yep, here it is. Actually, we just had some heating systems, some cooling systems put in, and the installers left the remote in the bag, and the instruction manual, I don't know if I believe in the instruction manual, they left everything on our display on our kitchen countertop, and I didn't even know if they were done. That's terrible. I mean, someone should say, hey, here's the remote, and I've already got it programmed with a date and time, and I've got it set at 70 degrees. And then this is how you do this, and this is how you do that. Do you have any questions? So, very basic thing, but as carpenters, we do the same thing. People don't we're in our office right now, we have Andersen doors in our, hey Mr. Homeowner, that comes with a triple locking mechanism. It's a mortise triple locking mechanism. Here's the keys that go with that, right? This is how you take care of your door. And you should wash your door once a year, make sure all the the glazing is correct, and all the hinges maybe need to be lubricated. All that stuff is really up to the WOW foreman to do. And I know some of you guys are cringing right now, saying, oh my gosh, I am not going to go over this stuff with the homeowner, but it's your job. It's not the production manager's job. It's the WOW foreman that says, I have an intimate knowledge of how this, in this example, how this door gets installed. And this is what here is the care of that. Mr. Homeowner or Sally or Pete, this is how Andersen wants you to take care of that door. You need to read this and put this in your important stuff. It also contains the warranty. So final check-in is go over what you did and how it works. Ask them, are they happy? And fill out a survey. So we have a little survey card that we're making up as well. It's just 5 simple questions. And we want that survey card to come back with you with the final check or payment. So you're going to get a package from the production department with your work order in it and all that good stuff, and then their warranty, and then from that point the survey card's coming back, and as well as the final payment. So, and on that note, we're asking for a payment or the next draw if it's not the final point. We're going to review the warranty, the product care information, and then we're going to, the last part of this is, it might be that you're sitting down at the kitchen table just going over these things with them. We're going to say, do you know of anyone that might need our services? Or are you thinking of any additional work on the house that you want me to relay back to the office? Well, we are thinking about remodeling our kitchen or finishing our basement. We see that you guys do that. So, hey, WOW foreman, we pay $75 for that. So you bring us back that name, we're going to give you a separate check, $75. Okay, so by asking, do they have anything else for us to do, or do they know of anyone else that wants our services? That's part of the experience, the WOW foreman, the WOW foreman experience, is that we want them to feel like, oh yes, there's one more thing. I was going to have you guys look at this plumbing thing. Something's leaking in the basement. It might just be one more thing that gets them to say, wow, these guys are not only detailed, they do beautiful workmanship, and they communicate. They're very thorough. So yes, I have one more thing I want you guys to look at. Follow this. It's very simple. We can create a little cheat sheet or whatever, or put something in the work order just for you to follow, but I want this done. It's as if you are the waiter or the waitress, and you're making sure that your customers that came in are having a great meal, and the food just tastes a little bit better because you're giving them great service. All right? So that's kind of where we're at. That's WOW foreman training. Okay, the last section that we're going to get into briefly, and then we're going to make a break, is our Fitch production process, and we're actually in the process of redoing the graphic, the design, the block by block flow chart. But all I want to talk about right now is we have at Fitch Construction, we have short-term projects and long-term projects. Short-term projects are fast cycle jobs. They're jobs that we want to do within 40 days from the time that we get the initial deposit check until we get the last payment. We want that to be 40 days or less. Longer-term projects, typically they last on the job. They're more than 4 days old, and so those are kitchen, bath, basement remodeling, sunrooms, decks, room additions. They take longer. All right. or short-term or more window, door, and skylight replacement type projects. You know, we can do 2 or 3 skylights in a day, is what our installers are doing right now. So there's so much to teach, there's so much to learn. I get really excited and thank you for investing your time and listening to some of these different ideas. Together, I want us all to feel that we're going and we're giving our customer a better experience. And if that's the case, then there'll be just great things for us to do together, more money to make, and more things to know, and we can truly become masters at our trade. Thanks so much.